Have you ever been surrounded by people and still felt completely alone? Not because no one is there, but because somehow no one really sees you. You answer messages, you laugh in conversations, you show up for everyone. From the outside, your life doesn't look lonely at all. You have people around you, you have relationships, maybe even someone who says they love you. And yet, at the end of the day, when everything gets quiet, there is a strange emptiness inside your chest, a feeling that is hard to explain. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's just this quiet thought that sometimes appears in your mind. Why do I still feel so alone? Many women experience this feeling, and the confusing part is they don't understand why. Because loneliness is supposed to happen when you're alone. But what if the deepest loneliness doesn't come from being alone? What if it comes from something else entirely? One of the most confusing experiences a woman can have is feeling lonely while her life looks full. She has conversations every day. She checks her phone constantly. She has friends, family, maybe even a partner. Her days are filled with people. But somehow, something still feels missing. Because loneliness is not always about the absence of people. Sometimes it is about the absence of connection. You can sit next to someone every night. You can talk to them every day. But if they never truly understand what is happening inside you, a distance slowly grows. Not a physical distance, an emotional one. And emotional distance can exist even between two people who love each other. A woman may smile during conversations, but deep inside there are thoughts she doesn't say, feelings she doesn't know how to explain, struggles she keeps to herself, not because she wants to hide them, but because somewhere along the way she learned that not everyone knows how to hold those feelings. So she keeps them inside. And over time, those unspoken emotions begin to feel like a quiet room she lives in alone, even when the world around her is full of people. Sometimes the loneliness is not about being ignored, it's about being partially seen. People may talk to her, they ask how her day was, they ask simple questions, but the conversation rarely goes deeper than the surface. She says she's tired, someone responds with advice. She says she's overwhelmed, someone tells her to stay positive. She shares a small part of her feelings, and the moment quickly moves on. No one really stops to sit inside that feeling with her. So she learns something very quietly. Some emotions are easier to carry alone. She becomes someone who listens to everyone else's problems. She becomes someone people rely on, someone who is always supportive. But when she is the one who needs support, she often doesn't know where to go. Not because people don't care, but because very few people know how to listen without trying to fix, judge, or minimize. And slowly, she begins to feel emotionally alone. Not unloved, just not fully understood. Many women grow up learning something without realizing it. They learn how to take care of people's emotions. They notice when someone is upset. They notice changes in tone, changes in mood, changes in energy. They learn to adjust themselves, to keep peace, to comfort others, to make sure everyone feels okay. Over time, this becomes natural, almost automatic. They remember birthdays, they check on friends, they sense tension in a room before anyone says a word. They carry emotional responsibility that no one ever formally gave them. But the problem is, when you spend so much of your life caring for everyone else's emotions, sometimes no one notices who is caring for yours. People get used to your strength. They assume you're always okay, because you're always the one holding everything together. And the strange part is, even when she is surrounded by people she loves, she can still feel like she is carrying the emotional weight alone. There is also a quiet pressure many women feel. The pressure to handle everything, to be patient, to be understanding, to stay calm, to not be too emotional. So when something hurts her deeply, she often pauses before expressing it. She asks herself questions like, am I overreacting? Maybe it's not a big deal. I don't want to create drama. So instead of speaking honestly, she softens her feelings. She hides certain thoughts. She tells herself she can handle it. And she probably can. But strength sometimes has a hidden cost. Because when someone constantly chooses strength over vulnerability, a part of them slowly becomes invisible. People see the calm version, the capable version, the supportive version, but the fragile parts remain unseen. And being unseen for a long time can feel incredibly lonely. There is a type of loneliness that hurts in a very quiet way. It happens when a woman is loved, but not truly known. Maybe someone cares about her deeply. Maybe they say the right words. Maybe they try in their own way. But they only know the version of her that she shows. They know her routines, her preferences, her habits. But they don't know the thoughts that keep her awake at night. They don't know the fears she rarely speaks about. They don't know the silent battles she fights inside her own mind. And sometimes she wonders, if they really saw everything inside me, would they still understand? So she keeps certain parts of herself hidden, not out of dishonesty, but out of protection. Because being misunderstood can hurt more than being silent. And over time, she can start to feel like the deepest parts of her life exist in a world no one else enters, even the people closest to her. Another reason many women feel lonely is something that rarely gets talked about. They give a lot of themselves in relationships, their time, their attention, their care. They remember small details. They check in when someone seems distant. They try to make the people they love feel safe. And for a while, this feels natural, because caring for others feels meaningful. But when giving becomes one-sided, something inside begins to change. She starts noticing small things. She notices when her effort isn't returned, when people rarely check on her first, when she is always the one reaching out, always the one understanding, always the one adjusting. And slowly she begins to feel emotionally tired, not angry, just empty. Because giving your heart again and again without feeling equally held can slowly create a deep, quiet loneliness. Feeling lonely doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It doesn't mean you're ungrateful for the people in your life. And it doesn't mean you're weak. Sometimes loneliness is simply your heart asking for something deeper, for connection that feels real, for conversations where you don't have to filter your feelings, for moments where someone truly sees you, not just the strong version of you, but the tired version, the confused version, the vulnerable version. Because at the end of the day, most women are not looking for perfection in relationships. They are looking for something much simpler: to feel understood, to feel emotionally safe, to feel like their inner world matters. And sometimes, the women who feel the loneliest are the ones who have spent their whole lives being strong for everyone else.